Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, and it feels like we're going a little bit back in time here, we need to talk about VMAX Climax. Because it turns out there is actually a bit of news floating around, a few little fun little stories about VMAX Climax. Although one of them is very much in terms of how it translates into Brilliant Stars, and I'll be honest with you, that one, it's not the best news I've ever given you, alright, ladies and gentlemen? And for that, all I can say is, I'm sorry. So, first things first, and this is a little news story, but we need to mention it nice and quickly. It's coming out in Thailand. Yay! It is starting to come out in a whole bunch of other countries. Obviously, VMAX Climax initially launched in Japan in December, and I've called it the best set ever, and I mean that incidentally. And it's been weeks and weeks, and my thoughts haven't changed. As far as I'm concerned, we have never seen any set as cool as VMAX Climax. It is the best set in history of the Pokémon TCG, and I think we're getting away from recency bias here, and I just think it's true. But it has been confirmed for release in Thailand on the 17th of January. And of course, if you have a look there, it looks very much like the Japanese set. It's got the silver borders and all of that. Obviously, it's in Thai. That probably shouldn't surprise anyone, but it is there and it is cool. What is cool, if you follow the Pokemon TCG Thailand Facebook page, and come on, why wouldn't you? Every couple of days, in fact every day at the moment, they're just dropping a new little spoiler image with some of these character rares and character super rares, and I, for one, am absolutely delighted. That makes me very happy indeed. We are gearing up to the release, and frankly, it looks awesome. So if you're over in Thailand, it might be time to start getting a little bit excited. Of course, I only told you just t'other day that over in Korea, VMAX Climax is launching, and that is really rather lovely. It's starting to come out everywhere. Speaking of which, and I got to thank the lovely Primalugia for this, because I was trying to name this country earlier and it was right on the edge of my tongue. I could not name it. It was driving me crazy. The lovely Primalugia has reminded me that this is Indonesia. The way to tell, incidentally, for Indonesia is that all of the attack names and Pokemon names are in English, but the text in the attacks isn't. That's how you tell. It's also called VMAX Climax, but spelled completely differently, which I very much appreciate. So it is coming out in Indonesia as well. So basically, all the other Asian territories seem to be getting it now, which is rather lovely. It's coming out in January in both Thailand and Indonesia, and that's kind of awesome. Although, if you are in Indonesia, you are going to have a very busy January, because Fusion Arts, what is Fusion Strike over here, yeah, that's also coming out in January. They are dropping both of those sets side by side in the same month. That is really a lot to ask in 1 month. If you're over in Indonesia, then you have my sympathy. I hope your wallet survives, because this is going to be a slightly awkward one, honestly. Both of them, 1 month. Yowza, ladies and gentlemen, yowza. But this has given us a fairly unique opportunity, because you'll see, when we look at the Indonesian cards, well, they've got the silver border, life is good. And when we look at the Thai cards, they've got the silver border, life is good. But we've also seen some Korean cards now. And if we look at the Korean cards, we will notice they don't have the silver border, the character rares. You can see Eevee and you can see Octillery on the screen here. They don't have the silver borders, they have the yellow borders. Why should you care? Because that's what they're going to look like when they come out over here. When they get an English release, when they turn up, which will be for some of them in Brilliant Stars, more on that in a moment, they're going to have the yellow border. And it is important to note, we've not had any official reveals of these character rares or super rares. We know they're coming. It was confirmed when we got the official description of the set. We've not actually have any reveal to see what they look like in English, but they're going to have the yellow border. And if we take Octillery as an example, it's a rather handsome one. We can take the Japanese version with the silver border and put it side by side with the Korean version that has the yellow border. And I cannot be the only one here that goes, ugh. Yeah, no, the silver border's way better. We can do the same thing with Eevee here and we get the exact same effect. The yellow borders, I have no huge problem with them all the time, but they are big and in your face, and on a regular card it doesn't necessarily come across so well. But with these character rares, it really jumps out. You've got this really lovely artwork, and it really does seem, for all of these character rares, like Pokemon have essentially gone to an artist and gone, hey, here's a Pokemon, here is a character, go nuts. And they have produced wonderful pieces of art, and the silver borders are much more subtle, and they kind of blend in a lot more, and you get to really appreciate the art, as far as I'm concerned, better. But looking at the yellow borders, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I don't like them anywhere near as much. They are way too in your face, and don't get me wrong, right? I want that alchemy with a yellow border. I want that English alchemy. It is one of my favourite Pokemon TCG cards they have ever produced. It is beyond amazing. However, with a yellow border versus silver border, it's not much of a competition. Now, the other cool news about VMAX Climax is again coming out of Korea. And essentially what happened was they've gone and released, or at least revealed, a bunch of merch. Now, as it stands at the moment, I am failing rather spectacularly when it comes to actually finding this merch online. There has been a video which has gone up on the official channel, and it's a kind of spectacular, weird acted video, and I am fully into it. But it does show that there is a VMAX Climax binder and a VMAX Climax playmat. And I love this. Now, I've set myself up to buy from the US, and I've set myself up to buy from Japan, and obviously I'm buying from Europe and all of that constantly. I am not set up to buy from Korea, but I might have to make a little bit of an exception. I might have to try and find a way to get that working, because oh my goodness, these are beautiful. It's really cool. Incidentally, there is also a binder coming, which is nothing to do with VMAX Climax. It's just a binder, but it's kind of beautiful, and it's got Pokemon images on the front, and it's just kind of adorable, basically. It's actually a really well-designed binder. It's not really the focus of today, but there is this binder coming out in Korea, and that's rather lovely. I'm more interested in this VMAX Climax binder and playmat, because we didn't get much of this. Oftentimes when a set launches, you get matching sleeves. So, over in Japan, I don't remember getting VMAX Climax sleeves. And I'll have a double check to make sure I'm being dumb, and if I've forgotten anything, please do let me know. But for instance, very recently, we saw that, we had Starbirth released, and we had these sleeves, which are basically the booster pack artwork of Starbirth. We got these sleeves, which were the booster pack art of the 25th anniversary collection. We got these sleeves, which are basically the booster pack artwork of Fusion Arts. Japan tends to release these sleeves, and to be fair, although it's often just sleeves, it is worth pointing out that we did get a deck box, which was clearly Starbirth and one for Fusion Arts, and we did actually get a playmat, which was clearly the Starbirth one as well. So it might be in the future we actually get more of this, which will be kind of lovely, but they don't usually do every set as a playmat. Starbirth was the first one they've done in a little while. Well, over in Korea, they've taken VMAX Climax and gone, yeah mate, let's do that. The thing is, the booster pack art for VMAX Climax is way better than the booster pack artwork for Starbirth or Fusion Arts. It's got Gloria and all the gang at the front. You got all those Pokemon fanning out up behind them, with Single Strike Urshifu menacingly peeking out from the back, giving real M. Bison vibes, if I might say so. It's wonderful. The problem is, if you want to go and get this, you have to get yourself over to Korea, or go and find a Korean website that will ship to whichever country you happen to be located in, which might be an easy thing to do. I'll be honest with you, I've not tried. I've shown you some cool Korean merch before, but nothing that I kind of had to have. This might be the exception. This might be the one that finally gets me to figure out how to go and order stuff from Korea. So it's a little bit weird that we're back talking about VMAX Climax. It's not necessarily what I was expecting, but we got it launching in a bunch of other Asian territories. We got to look at what they look at with yellow borders, and spoiler alert, it's not as good. And we got this lovely merch over in Korea. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, we needed to have a chat about this. And now we have. So it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think about all of this. Tell me if you're a fan of trying to pick this stuff up from other countries. Tell me what you think of this VMAX Climax merch. Tell me what you think about anything we've talked about. And of course, I need to hear from everybody. What do you think about yellow borders versus silver borders? Do you think we've got it better? Or do you, like me, think we'd be better off with the silver borders? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.